Hi there, if you're watching this video right now, there's a very good chance you're in the market to buy a brand new Kindle. Whether it's for yourself or somebody else, there's never been a better time to buy a Kindle than today. Now, if you are buying a Kindle for yourself, I want to say congratulations. I bought my first Kindle back in 2020 during the pandemic, and it completely changed my life. So if you are buying one for the first time, this is a huge step to improve your reading habit. And I gotta say, no matter which Kindle you get, they all help us do the same thing, which is reading more books, and that is what matters. Now, the best way to decide which Kindle is best for you is not by looking at the technical details of each Kindle, but rather reflecting on your personal reading habits. In my opinion, there are 3 different levels of readers when it comes to buying a Kindle. We have bookworms, bougie bookworms, and super bookworms. I'll be discussing each of those in this video. Okay, let's jump into it now. The first type of reader I want to talk about are the bookworms. Now, these are the people who love to read all the time. People who read before bed, maybe in the morning with their coffee, or just while they're out and about. Anyone who loves to read books on a regular basis is a bookworm. Now, there are 2 types of Kindles I would recommend for anyone who is a bookworm, and the first one is the new Kindle Basic that came out very recently. Now, the Kindle Basic is also great for any bookworm out there who loves to read while they're commuting for work, on the subway, the train, a plane, whatever it might be. And also, the Kindle Basic is a great option for any bookworm out there who is on a tight budget of any kind. Now, the Kindle Basic has a starting price of $99, which makes it the most affordable Kindle you can get. It's also the smallest Kindle with a 6-inch display, which makes it really portable and easy to carry around. Now, this device is also made of plastic, which makes it very nice to use with or without a case, which I really do enjoy. Now, this may sound like a very cheap Kindle from the way I'm describing it, but all the actual features that matter are the same as the higher end Kindles. For example, the most important one is the screen resolution. You have the same 300 ppi resolution that you're going to find on all the other Kindles. In fact, I would say the resolution on the Kindle Basic is probably the most crispy out of any other Kindle that is currently out right now. That is because the Kindle Basic does not have a flush display, so there's less layers of plastic between your eyes and the actual text, which make the text on this device super crispy to read. The Kindle Basic also has the same fast software experience that you would find on every other Kindle, and you also get the same USB-C charging, which makes this device on par with the higher end devices. Now, there are 2 notable features that are missing on the Kindle Basic. The first one being water resistance, so if that's important to you, do not get this device. And also the second one being adjustable warm light, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Now, if you are deciding to buy the Kindle Basic, let me talk about some of the options you have while purchasing this device. Again, if you're any kind of budget, just get the most entry-level price that you can get for the Kindle Basic over here. You'll be very happy with it. If you do have some extra money to invest, I would recommend getting a case for this device because the power button on the bottom is very frustrating to use. It kind of gets pressed all the time when it's in my backpack. Having a sleep cover case will make it so you don't have to use that power button anymore. It'll just turn on and off when you open up the case. Another option that you might want to consider is the removal of lock screen advertisements. That is something I personally find annoying. I don't like seeing advertisements on my lock screen. It also requires you to swipe to unlock every single time. So if you want to have a more pleasant experience without ads on your lock screen, you can pay $20 extra to get those removed. The last option you'll have to choose when buying your Kindle Basic is the color that you want. They have a denim blue color, which I have right over here, also a black color. If I had to go back and choose, I would probably choose the black one. The blue one is really nice. It's a very bold blue color, but the level of blue is a bit too much for me. It kind of gets distracting while reading. Having a black bezel while you're reading on a device is less distracting. It kind of blends in with the text, which I really appreciate. So keep that in mind when deciding which color to get. The last thing I'm going to mention about the Kindle Basic model over here is definitely consider the Kids Edition, which is definitely something any adult can use as well. It comes as a bundled package. You get a free case, no lock screen ads, all at a bundled price, which is really nice. Just don't forget to cancel the kids subscription if you don't plan on using that. The next Kindle I want to recommend for the people who fall under the bookworm category is the Kindle Paperwhite. Now, this device is a little more expensive, starting at $139, but you do get a few upgrades with that price. The first upgrade you get is a larger screen. This device has a 6.8-inch display compared to the 6-inch screen on the Kindle Basic. It definitely feels a bit less portable portable, but not at all less portable where you can't carry it around in your backpack or travel with it. I still love reading on this device when I'm out and about, and it also feels a lot more natural when reading at home, in the sofa, or on the bed before going to sleep. It just feels like reading a real book. The second upgrade you get with the Kindle Paperwhite is an improved build quality. This device feels way more premium than the Kindle Basic. First thing you'll notice right away is the back of the Kindle Paperwhite has this soft touch plastic design, which makes it feel almost like rubber. It feels really nice to hold. It does not feel like the cheap kind of plastic that you're going to find on the Kindle Basic. Now, more importantly, when it comes to the build quality of the Kindle Paperwhite, you're going to get more protection with the Kindle Paperwhite's flush display. On the Basic model, we talked about how the flush screen actually reduces crispiness, which is true. The Paperwhite does not have as crispy of a display when you compare it against the Basic model, but you get more protection from dust, crumbs, debris. You're not going to have things like that getting stuck on your Kindle screen. It also just feels way more premium to hold when you compare it to the Kindle Basic. While we're talking about the screen, the third upgrade that you get is the adjustable warm light. That is something that's completely missing on the Basic model. If you read at night especially, having that adjustable warm light may be the deciding factor between the Basic and the Paperwhite. It just makes reading look so much more natural compared to the Basic. Another deciding factor that you might have is the water resistance on the Kindle Paperwhite. Like we said, the Basic does not have any kind of water resistance. The Paperwhite does have that. If you read in the bath, by the pool, on the beach, that might be something you want to consider. The last upgrade you're also getting with the Paperwhite is something called page turn animations. This is a very subtle difference, but it's something you'll see every single time you turn the page on the Paperwhite. There is a slight animation with a wiping effect when you turn the page, which makes it look really nice and more fluid when you compare it against the Basic, which does not have that. This is also a software feature, so we might see more features like this come out in the future. The page turn animations are definitely nice to have, but by no means are they a requirement. It's just one of those quality of life improvements. Now, the Paperwhite also has a few options to choose from when you're buying it. The first one being storage capacity. You'll have the option to choose between 8 gigabytes and 16 gigabytes. Personally, I recommend the 8 model. Having more than that is kind of overkill unless you're planning to store audiobooks or larger textbooks of any kind on your Kindle. If you're just reading normal books, you don't need much storage for those. They take up very little storage capacity. The other thing I want to recommend again is the kids edition of the Kindle Paperwhite. Just like the Basic model, there is a kids bundle for this, and for this I actually have a whole video that talks about it, so you know exactly what's included in that. Link for that video on the screen right now. So that concludes the category for bookworms. In terms of which Kindle to get, you have the Basic and the Paperwhite model. Next up, we're going to move on to the bougie bookworm category, which has a couple more Kindles to choose from. Before I talk about that though, I want to make a recommendation for anyone who is looking to build a new daily reading habit with their purchase of buying a Kindle. With the new year coming up really soon, a common goal that I see people have is to read more books. I was the exact same thing not too long ago. When I first bought my Kindle, I was reading a book once every month, but after I bought my Kindle, I started reading multiple books every month. It completely changed the game for me when I started to read more. Now, if you want some extra accountability to maintain that reading habit on a monthly, even weekly basis, I want to recommend joining my weekly newsletter called Presently Reading. Every month I choose a new nonfiction book to read, then send out a weekly email with the lesson I learned from the book, as well as a discussion question to help challenge us to think deeper about the book and how we can apply it to our life. If that sounds interesting to you, or if you want to learn more about behind the scenes of my YouTube channel, I include all of that in the weekly newsletter. Link down below to join the community. Next up, we have the category of bougie bookworms. This is the category that I fall under myself, which is why I'm comfortable calling it the bougie bookworms. And I want to say everything under this category is definitely nice to have, but is by no means a requirement. You really are hitting the law of diminishing returns at this point. You're getting some nice quality of life upgrades for the money that you're spending. Basically, this category is meant for people who have a little extra cash.
I gotta do it, man.
to invest in their reading habit. You're going to get some nice features out of these Kindles, but you don't need them to read any kind of books. Now, there are two Kindles in this bougie bookworm category. The first one is the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, which starts at $189. You do get a few notable upgrades when you compare the Signature Edition to the regular Paperwhite. Now, the first upgrade you get on the Signature model over here is wireless charging. This device supports wireless charging. You just put this on a wireless charger, which is sold separately, by the way, but you can charge this device wirelessly if you don't want to use USB-C. The second upgrade that you get is an ambient light sensor. This thing is actually really nice to have when you travel around with your Kindle. What it will do is automatically adjust the brightness for you, so you don't have to manually go in the settings and change the brightness if you're going from indoors to outdoors or going to a different room with a different lighting environment. Also, on the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, you get way more storage at 32 gigabytes, which is probably overkill for most people. Again, if you aren't reading textbooks or graphic novels or anything like that, or audiobooks, you're not going to need that more storage. It is nice to have though, so you have some flexibility with that. And the last upgrade that you have with the Signature Edition is the built-in pricing for no lock screen ads, which is usually valued at $20. So for all of those upgrades at $189, you're getting a nice little feature upgrade compared to the Kindle Paperwhite. So again, nothing earth-shattering over here. It's just very small quality of life improvements. Now, the next device we have for the bougie bookworms is actually a device that is a little bit old now, but still is in the Kindle lineup, and that is the Kindle Oasis. This was the first Kindle that I bought back in 2020, and I still love using it to this day. Now, the Oasis will cost you $249, and the reason why it's so expensive is definitely by far the most premium Kindle you can buy. It is covered in aluminum, it is a metal build, it is not plastic, which makes holding this device feel more like holding a smartphone or a tablet. It just feels very high quality. Now, the Oasis is actually the only Kindle that supports page turn buttons. When I first bought my Kindle, I thought these would be a must-have feature. It turns out they really aren't. They're really nice to have. The buttons are really excellent, especially when you compare them to other competitors out there. The Kindle Oasis has the best page turn buttons out of every other e-reader I've reviewed, but again, it is not a must-have feature. Now, the Kindle Oasis also has the same ambient light sensor for brightness adjustments, just like the Signature Edition, but unlike the Signature Edition, you are missing out on quite a few other features. For example, there is no wireless charging on this device. In fact, there's not even USB-C. This device still uses micro USB. The Kindle Oasis is definitely the most overdue for an upgrade. There were a lot of rumors going around that we would get a refreshed Kindle Oasis by the end of 2022. That does not seem to be the case. So hopefully in 2023, a new Kindle Oasis will come out with some upgraded features. But putting aside the USB-C and the lack of wireless charging, this device is still a very premium Kindle to own, but I do think it is not very future-proof at this point. Speaking of future-proof, the last category of readers that we have are the super bookworms. Now, this is actually the category that is very new for the Kindle lineup, because there's only one Kindle that I would recommend for the super bookworms, and that is the new Kindle Scribe, which is coming out at the end of 2022. Now, what puts the super and super bookworms is actually the idea of note-taking, whether it's marking up PDFs or annotating while you read with a stylus. If you want to have those pen and handwritten note-taking features, the Kindle Scribe is the only device that will support that feature set. Now, the starting price of the Kindle Scribe is $339, which makes it the most expensive Kindle you can buy. I really only recommend getting this device for people who absolutely know for sure they're going to be using that pen for taking notes while they read or marking up documents. Now, this device is a bit of a wild card. We don't know much about it yet because frankly, it hasn't shipped as of making this video. It'll be coming out in the month of December at the end of this year in 2022. So if you're going to be buying this device for the holiday season, you're definitely taking a risk. We don't quite know what the experience will be like until it comes out. What I mean by that is this is the first device Amazon is making that supports note-taking on a Kindle display. So really what makes or breaks this device will be the software experience, how it behaves. Will we see bugs? Will we see any kind of issues? We're not really sure yet. So when this device comes out, a lot of testing will be done through review videos like myself to see how this device holds up. On paper though, this device actually seems really, really solid. It has all the same reading features like a high resolution screen and the same Kindle features that you've been seeing on all the other Kindles, but also with the added benefit of having a pen to mark up and take notes while you read. So it kind of has the best of both worlds coming together into one nice device. The Kindle Scribe is great for anyone who wants to be on the bleeding edge of technology. Also, if you have the money to spend and invest in a brand new Kindle that's a bit fancier than the rest, definitely look into getting the Kindle Scribe. But all you care about is reading and reading regular books and having a great reading experience. Any other Kindle that we've talked about is probably a better option and more value for your money. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I want to recommend checking out my other video that talks about how to use a Kindle. Whether you buy the Kindle Oasis or buy the brand new Kindle Basic, it doesn't really matter. The software experience is basically the same across every single Kindle. In that video, I'll show you how to use all the features. Link for that on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.